kingdom of Satan. In the latter years, you will be visited. You will be visited. That is, you are going to be employed by me to enter into every aspect of the world, into the church age, into the churches, and into the world, and the official ruler there. It will be in the latter years and the latter days, and that's our day. Anytime you see that word latter, you know it's talking about our time, the time of the great tribulation. Thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword. To try to tie that into the churches. I couldn't. But what land is brought back from the sword? What land perished because of the sword? National Israel. They were destroyed in 70 BC. When were they brought back from the sword? In 1948, when they again became a nation amongst the nations of the world. You see how things begin to tie together now? You would come into the land that is brought back from the sword, that is gathered out of many people, and where are the Israelites today? Where are they? They're all in Jerusalem, aren't they? No way. They're everywhere in the world. Most of a very high percentage are in the United States. They're not even close to Jerusalem. But they are gathered out of many peoples. And then it says, against the mountains of Israel. And here again, it is now talking about the churches. It's a plural word. Each denomination was a representative of the kingdom of God. The mountain is a synonym for spiritually representing the kingdom, a kingdom, and the churches all over the world represent the kingdom of God. Spiritually, they are Israel. They are those who are representing what Israel is, the kingdom of God, which have been always waste or ruined. Well, is that true? Always. Well, right from the very beginning, we saw, and we've talked about this many times, in Galatia chapter 1, they were beginning to follow another gospel. In Revelation 2 and 3, the synagogue of Satan was active already. The tares were being sown right from the beginning in the churches. They were really under the wrath or they were really in rebellion against God right from the very beginning. And that's why we have a hard time. And when we read the ancient documents of the theologians, try to understand what they believed about salvation, they had it all wrong. They didn't understand what the true gospel was. They were really preparing all the peoples of the churches for the wrath of God, so that when those individuals died, yes, they had a wonderful life here because they tried to do the will of God, and yet they would never again have conscious existence. They lost what they were hoping for, that they might be with Christ forevermore in the new heaven and the new earth. But they were brought out of the nations, and the world is, the whole world is where the church age has been developed. They were brought out of the nations. Now, the next phrase. Now, we have another big problem. And they shall dwell safely, all of them. What could that mean? Well, the Hebrew word that is used here is a word that means that you're, if you don't think there's an enemy out there, you don't believe there's an enemy out there at all. You can be out there without any protection of any kind, and yet you can feel like you are altogether safe. You are secure. This is the way this word is used. Or it could mean that you are safe because you do have protection, and therefore you know why you're safe. It used both ways. Now, in this context, it is used like it's used in Isaiah 47, verse 8. Isaiah 47, verse 8. There we read in Isaiah 47, verse 8, it's talking about the, in here it's the same word, and it's correctly translated here. In verse 7, it's talking about the churches as a great harlot, and thou hast said, I shall be, or I am a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly. Same word. Now, you carelessly that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. You see why this could also be understood as safely? I am safe. No one is going to take what I have. I am in control. I am in charge. And the Bible has correctly seen this as careless. Now let's go back to Ezekiel 38.